Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell. Get all the updates. You'd think I'd have it down by now. Really excited for today's video. Beer's courtesy of Chris. Thanks so much, Chris. I really appreciate it. And it's a brewery I've had stuff from them, but I'm almost positive I've never reviewed anything. And a relatively, from where I grew up and lived until I moved to the capital region of New York, relatively local. Back in the day where, breweries were hard to come by, harder than they are today to come by. This was relatively close. It's on Seneca Lake, and which makes sense when you look at the name. It came from Seneca Lake. This is a quad IPA, 10.4% ABV. So, I mean, obviously triple IPAs I've had, but calling it a quad, and it's 10.4. A lot of breweries, it seems like, would call that a triple at that ABV. So I'm kind of curious. That's why I'm doing it on a Tuesday. If you don't know, Tuesdays I try to drink something a little outside my norm. I try to test my palate. And this one seemed like a good one for that. Being a history guy, you might know Seneca Lake, the top of it, Seneca Falls. Women's movement arguably started there in 1848. I shouldn't say started there, but like a turning point. Probably is more accurate of a term. Anyway, these guys are specifically out of Geneva, New York. And they doesn't tell me the hop or hops that are in it, but it does give an album pairing. Howling Wolf, Moanin in the Moonlight. It is about a month and a half old, but given the ABV, I'm not worried about that at all. Great can art, too. Let me pour in case there's a lot ahead first. But it's like the 1950s kind of like old school horror movie vibes, or like monster movies probably might be a little bit more accurate. Yeah, I love it. I really love it. Right? It's got like the kind of like a matte kind of a wrap. I really like that. Anyway, so it is hazy. I didn't know what to expect with the style. That is a very dark, deep orange. The way the lighting is, almost like with some brown mixed in, but I don't know if you'll be seeing the brown. My guess is it's pretty orange on camera, but because it's so thick with the lighting, there's a little bit of brown on my end. Barely any head, which doesn't surprise me given the ABV. A little bit of lacing sticks, definitely see some legs. It's a little off-white. There's a little bit of like an orange grayish kind of color mixed in with the white. Sticking the side glass more than the center, so it looks like there's more head at this point than there really is. Let's get into the aroma. I like that. That's good. It's fruity. A little bit of pine. For the fruit, I'm gonna guess citrus in this because I get like that peach and apricot thing, some mango and citrus. Mostly the citrus is orange though. I don't know why I'm overpronouncing the word citrus. Some generic tropical. Although if you wanted to be like, if someone else was smelling this and said, "Oh, I get pineapple," like I could see that a little bit. But for me, it's more just generic tropical fruit notes. Of course, now they say pineapple out loud. I do want to say, actually, I get pineapple specifically. If I think of it, I'll look up what hop or hops are in it and put in the description box below. Yeah, it smells really good, and it does have some of that pine, but it really is very fruit and fruit juice, ripe fruit forward. See about the taste. Cheers. Thanks again, Chris. Tell you what, that's really nice. That it's like a fruit roll, like, if I don't know if they make them, but like an apricot and peach fruit roll up, like huge note of that. This, or like you have like a food dehydrator. I know mine has a tray that you can put liquid in and like make like super healthy fruit roll-ups essentially. Like it very much tastes like that. I do get some of the orange and like that mango pineapple thing I was getting in the aroma too. So like definitely thinking Citra is one of the hops in this, because I'm getting the things I get out of Citra. And maybe one of the hops that can kick out some pineapple, because I think it's there. I don't think it's just in my head. And yeah, there's a little bit of a pine resin, which really works well in this beer because it is so fruity. And again, very ripe fruit. But then also this, like, again, just to keep saying fruit roll up, like that kind of almost candied, concentrated, it might be a better word, concentrated fruit flavor. Then there is like a little bit of a, that bitterness. And when that kicks in, you kind of get, not savory, that's not the right word. Just more like traditional, like it's obviously a beer, but it's like a very fruity beer at that point where like initially it's like just fruity. The aftertaste, drier than I thought. I just figured, the higher ABV, the sweetness that's up front, that it wouldn't end, not that it's bone dry, but it does end a little drier than I would have thought. It does drink a lot like what, again, other breweries typically call triples. So I don't know the thought process with this being a quadruple. Maybe they have a series where they do, maybe they have like a 9% one that's their triple, and then this is their quad. I don't know, but like it's got a nice mouthfeel without being overpowering in any way, or it's certainly not watery, and it's certainly not like too thick or whatever. So it has a nice mouthfeel without being distracting. That might be a good word for it. Like it's not syrup, but it's approaching syrupy. It's not syrupy, it's approaching syrupy and not full-on syrup. I tell you what, though, I'm loving this apricot peach thing a lot, with some of that tropical stuff being added to it. And the fact that there are elements that drink like a beer also. This is firing on all cylinders for me. This is really good. And I'm super excited to see if they must have the hops somewhere. So again, I'm like so obsessed with like what is in this? What are they putting in this to get these flavors? So again, I will guaranteed I will remember to put it in the description box below if I can find it on the internet. Thanks again, Chris, man. I really appreciate it. This is delicious. Have you guys had anything from Warhorse before? Have you had anything that people are calling a quadruple IPA? What are your thoughts given the ABV, and if this should be a triple or a quadruple? Anything, everything. Comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untappd. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.